Hello, everyone, and welcome to day two of the Abstract W painting series. This painting series is funded in part by a grant from the Southwest Minnesota Arts Council with funds provided by the McKnight Foundation. So thank you to both SMOC and the McKnight Foundation for helping make this art project possible. Last week, we got the initial colors onto the canvas. So it involved some whites and some yellows in the shape of a W, some kind of darker reds and pinks surrounding that W, and then some blues on the outside. Right off the bat, I see the green blob here, kind of in the bottom left corner as it looks like almost like leaves, and then it's going up into what looks like possibly a flower. So I'm going to start with that for today's painting. I'm still using the same color palette that I used last week, which involves phthalo blue, cad red deep, nope, cad red medium, and cad red yellow deep. So to get this green color, I'm going to do a lot of yellow with a little bit of blue. To add some highlighting and low lighting in the grass, I'm also going to mix up some green with a little bit more blue, and then I'll mix that same green that I used in the middle with quite a bit more yellow to lighten it up. So next I'm going to use the Cad Red Medium Red to kind of outline and define that little piece of red that looks like a flower. I'll also add a little bit of white to add some highlights to the flower to just make that look more three-dimensional. As I added in the green leaves kind of up to that red line on the bottom, it started to look like maybe a field of those red flowers. I'm going with poppies. I can't really tell. I'm not a botanist. I'm not really familiar with flowers, but it looks kind of like a poppy to me. So maybe it's a field of poppies. And the moment that I say that, I am immediately thinking of the Wicked Witch of the West and a field of poppies. So at this point in the painting, I don't actually know what I see anymore, and so I kind of want to just fill in the background with something. So I'm going to start by making what I think should be like a sunset under the W, but I'm not exactly sure if that's where I want to end up. So I'm just kind of playing at this point. Um, I am going to make a note now that the whole entire video is done and I'm done with the painting. Um, I think when I got to this point, I probably should have stopped painting and just stepped away and let myself kind of reset and think about it. But I continued to paint for the rest of the painting. Now, I'm happy with where I ended with the painting, but I can see that just in my brush strokes and that I'm just kind of playing around with colors, that lack of confidence really shows as I continue to just mess with the painting. And I think that that is worth noting anytime that you are painting. I think I had a lot of paint on the palette and I just kind of felt guilty just leaving it there. So I wanted to produce something. So I think this is just a good lesson for anybody. Um, where I did end up, I'm likely going to have to go back in and cover up and change some of those things. So this is just a good lesson for you. I am going to just speed up the video for the rest of this painting session only because I wasn't entirely thrilled with the direction it took, and I wanted to just give a good glimpse of kind of where it started, where I just started playing. I also tend to talk while I'm painting, and in my transcript of this particular painting, I barely said anything at all. So it was just me literally playing on a canvas with no direction in mind, just playing with the colors and seeing what I like and what I didn't like, what worked, what didn't work. And I think that's really cool. It ended up turning out very different than I probably would have had it turned out if I had just walked away. So this will, I'm just going to let you kind of see how this turns out. So once again, I kind of hit a spot in the painting where I could have just left it as is, and it looks very good as is. And then I continued to just kind of mess with it. It was almost as if I was like, I was kind of deciding whether I wanted to be just fully done with the painting or if I wanted to like continue and wait another week and see if something popped out. So I chose to continue. And again, I like this point. I like the colors, that bright orange in the middle and like the purplish blue in the background. But I kept going and you'll see where that ends up in a minute. So by the end of this video, it looks like there's this bright red um, poppy on a cloudy sky. And I do plan to warm up some of those clouds in the background and put some of that orange back in. But I am just going to leave this set for a week and let my brain reset and see if we can find something that will warm up this painting. Remember to like and subscribe and stick around to see what I do with the extra paint that I have. Just a reminder that this project was funded in part by a grant from the Southwest Minnesota Arts Council with funds provided by the McKnight Foundation. So thank you to both SMOC and the McKnight Foundation for making this art project possible. I was really excited with the palette that I had left, and I wanted to focus on some skill development because I have a full palette of colors. I have red, I have yellow, and I have blue. I only had a little bit of blue, so I used that to create a sky as a backdrop. And then I wanted to recreate those poppy flowers that I had made in the intuitive painting for skill development to just continue to practice making those flowers and making the colors look good together. And so that was kind of the focus of this card was simply skill development. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you for the next video. Have a great rest of your day.